Have you ever felt being angry with yourself because you desire to do good, but you end up doing something stupid? Or despite your best efforts, you cannot do what you want to do, but what you hate to do. You feel as if you are not in control of your life. There is massive conflict within you that makes you frustrated, discouraged, and helpless. Don't worry, you are perfectly all right. It's not your fault, and the good news is, you are not the first one to experience it. Even those we consider holy and righteous were not able to avoid that human experience. Take Apostle Paul, for example. He said in Romans chapter 7, verse 15, 18 to 19, 21 to 24. I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. I know that nothing good lives in me, that is, in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. For what I do is not the good I want to do. No, the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. So I find this law at work. When I want to do good, evil is right there with me. For in my inner being I delight in God's law. But I see another law at work in the members of my body, waging war against the law of my mind and making me a prisoner of the law of sin at work within my members. What a wretched man I am! Who will rescue me from this body of death? He describes the condition like a war in his mind, two conflicting desires that made him what he called a wretched man. Now you know that what you encounter is perfectly normal. Yes, we want success, peace of mind, harmonious relationships, to do good and be healthy. But every time we try to set goals and plans to achieve our desired results, negativity sets in. Doubts, fears, worries, anger, and resentment pull us down. It's like we are in a vicious cycle that we cannot escape. So let me give you the summary of the situation in order to handle this anomaly. We are engaged in a war. The mind is the war zone. Who is the enemy? Satan. He works diligently to set up a stronghold in our mind. He does it through strategy and deceit. He is in no hurry. He takes his time to work out his plan. He knows that when he controls the mind, he can control our life. Do you know one of his favorite weapons? Putting negativity in your mind that will leave you dried. Despair. To be hopeless, to have no hope, to give up all hope or expectation. Resentment is a leftover of ill feelings towards someone for something they've done. Impatience, a lack of patience, irritation with anything that causes delay. Envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. Depression, a condition of mental disturbance, typically with lack of energy and difficulty in maintaining concentration or interest in life. When you cannot put a good fight, you might end up doing one of these. Drugs, blaming other people, drinking, gambling, being materialistic, going insane, and eventually ending your life. You don't want these, right? You need to prepare yourself. But are you ready for his attack? Do you have any kind of weapon to fight him and win the war in your mind? Here is your spiritual weapon, my friend. The spiritual sword. In Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12, the word of God is alive and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. It cuts all the way through to where soul and spirit meet, to where joints and marrow come together. It judges the desires and thoughts of man's heart. The spiritual armor. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11 to 17. Put on all of God's armor, so that you will be able to stand safe against all strategies and tricks of Satan. For we are not fighting against people made of flesh and blood, but against persons without bodies, the evil rulers of the unseen world, those mighty satanic beings and great evil princes of darkness who rule this world, and against huge numbers of wicked spirits in the spirit world. So use every piece of God's armor to resist the enemy whenever he attacks, and when it is all over, you will still be standing up. But to do this, you will need the strong belt of truth and the breastplate of God's approval. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. In every battle, you will need faith as your shield to stop the fiery arrows aimed at you by Satan. And you will need the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Are you using these weapons? If not, it's not too late. If you want to change your situation, you have an option. Learn the words of God. Listen. Obey. This is the only way to beat Satan. In Proverbs chapter 2, verses 9 to 12, if you listen to me, you will know what is right, just, and fair. You will know what you should do. You will become wise, and your knowledge will give you pleasure. Your insight and understanding will protect you and prevent you from doing the wrong thing. They will keep you away from people who stir up trouble by what they say. You are helpless no more. You now have the fighting chance to win the war in your mind. Destroy the stronghold of Satan he built through the years. Outwit him, frustrate him. Attend our live event to add more ammunition in your armory.